What's up, guys? Nguyen, OG Fitness. Welcome to the channel. Today's video, we're gonna talk about Muay Thai or boxing. Which one should you do first? Now, let me first start by saying that in an ideal world, like you would do both. You would practice boxing and Muay Thai. Okay, but if you had to pick one and one that you would need to start with, that you want to start with because you want to, um, like be able to defend yourself faster, in my opinion, boxing. Now, let me just play this video in the background for fun. Why not? It's always fun to watch guys, knock each other out. So it's just boxing highlights. Okay, so the reason why I would pick boxing first is because it's easier to learn than Muay Thai. Not that Muay Thai is particularly hard, but the thing is, there's too many stuff that you have to learn in Muay Thai, right? You're kicking, you're elbowing, you're kneeing, you're clinching. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of stuff. Whereas if you start with boxing, then it's more focused. Now, what you do is you focus more on your hands. So you work on, yes, you have to work on your footwork. You have to work on your head movement. Your defense with your hands as well. You have to learn how, the basic punches. You have to know how to set it up. Like there's already a lot of things in boxing, and so if you're focused and you focus more on your hands at the beginning, you're gonna have good hands, and then you can go over to Muay Thai, and you'll already have good hands. So you won't have to focus as much on the hands. You can then focus on everything else. The kicks, the knees, the clinch, the elbows, but you won't have to focus on hands because you already have hands. Now, why would you not just go to Muay Thai and do everything at the same time? It takes longer, man, to get good at, especially if you've never done anything before. And what I've noticed as well is that guys who start off in Muay Thai, like it takes longer for them to become good at everything. They're just mediocre for a longer period of time. And a lot of times their boxing is lacking. It's really not as good. It's not there. Like they don't have that sense of head movement, of footwork. Because Muay Thai, it's very square, right? Like you just stand there. Like the rings are actually smaller in Muay Thai. For those of you guys who don't know, so the way they score the points, from my understanding, they go by damage. So guys are just moving forward and they're just exchanging essentially. Yes, of course they're blocking. There's a little bit of evasive maneuver, but really not all that much from my understanding. It's more about the exchange. So it's about the person who does more damage. Where in boxing, you're learning footwork, you're learning head movement, you're learning how to block, to shoulder roll, and all that. Mind you, you're gonna have to adapt a couple of things, of course, right? For example, in boxing, like if your goal is to do Muay Thai, right? And so that you can defend yourself, or you want to get into MMA, you have to realize that when you're boxing, there's certain things that you're not going to be able to do in Muay Thai. For example, bobbing and weaving, going way too low and staying down there because you just eat a knee in the face or a shin to the face, and then it'll be that'll be it, right? And of course, your bladed stance. When you're in boxing, you have a very bladed stance, so it opens you up to a lot of leg kicks, but it does make you more agile coming in and out. So you just have to be aware of that and make the adjustments. Now, if you were to do Muay Thai, the thing with Muay Thai is that their hands tend to be like this. At least now I know it changed because a lot of the guys who've done boxing went over to Muay Thai, and basically there's such a thing as Dutch kickboxing, and those guys, they closed up their hands a little bit, so they have boxing hands, but in the Muay Thai sport. So they actually have better hands than traditional Muay Thai. I think that traditional Muay Thai, I might be mistaken, but if any of you guys who were more who went and trained in Thailand, or who knows guys who train in Thailand, or maybe train at a club that's a little bit more traditional, they're more open like this. And one of the reasons why they're like this more is because, well, they got the elbows, okay, and they got their knees, they're more square, right? So this is a little bit more open. So that's one thing that you have to take into consideration. And they're a little bit less mobile too. They don't develop that mobility, because the thing is, I think it's better for you to develop the hands at a very high level with the defense, with the movement, right? With the head movement, with the footwork, and develop really a good pair of hands. And then when you transition over to Muay Thai, that's when, wow, like you'll be able to you'll do so much better, in my opinion. Okay, and you just have to make a couple adjustments, but after that, you're gonna have, um, man, it's just gonna be you're gonna be so much more effective if you have a good pair of hands already. Now, let me just look at my notes quick here. Oh, and honestly, if you just focus on hands, like in a span of 3 months, you could defend yourself. Okay, like in a street altercation, like you're gonna be able to, you're gonna see, like if you do like 3 times a week, 4 times a week, just boxing, man, for 3 months, you're gonna be able to knock out like 90% of the people on the streets. But because 90% of the people on the streets are bums anyway, But I'm saying don't go do that. But really, like all you need is a good pair of hands. And also the thing with kicking, okay, is that when you kick, what happens is that, well, you're on one leg. So, and if you're outside, you're wearing jeans, trying to kick too high might not be the ideal thing. You could lose your balance, you could fall to the ground. You don't necessarily want to do that. But with that said, like once you learn Muay Thai after that, if you are going to use it if you do end up, having to use it in a street altercation, I think that going for the low kicks for the most part is the better deal, right? So you want to kick the calves, right? Calf kick. You want to kick on the knee because who cares if it's a street fight, right? And yeah, but you definitely don't want to kick to the head, okay? To the body, yeah. I mean, that could you could still maintain your balance, and it really depends on what your flexibility level and all that. But I think that, yeah. So that would be how I would approach how I would use Muay Thai in the streets. So I'm digressing a little bit here. Yeah, and I think that it's easier for you to, because if you start with Muay Thai first, what happens is that you might pick up this bad habit of being not very mobile and just having this position with the hands, right? Now, and then it's harder to fix afterwards. Whereas if you're more of a boxing guard like this, going like this is, you know, it's a lot easier to transition out of your, let's say, so-called bad habits in boxing to Muay Thai than to transition from Muay Thai bad habits and then trying to fix those in later on, right? And also, guys, boxing is cheap, very cheap. Whereas Muay Thai, it's up there, man. It's expensive now, right? Because it's a very popular sport. They push that a lot in what do you call it, in the UFC. And just a side note like this, like any sport that's in the Olympics is cheap, is really cheap. So boxing is one of those things, man. It's super cheap. It's all over the place. So if you do have the option, okay, of boxing or Muay Thai, with like which one you do first, I think you should do both of them. Both of them are fantastic, and to be well-rounded and complete, yeah, definitely. Like you need boxing, right? You need the skills that you develop in boxing, and then you need to learn Muay Thai to be complete. Because not one martial art is ever completed in itself, right? They all have strengths and weaknesses because it's just the nature of their sport, right? They have to put rules, right, to make it a sport so that people can compete and practice and in a safe way. Well, I mean, as safe as possible, right? So that's the thing. They all have weaknesses, but I think that's what you should do if you have the choice. If you don't have a choice, then you don't have a choice, right? Then Muay Thai is definitely like, if you could only pick one um, that you would do for the rest of your life, then obviously Muay Thai. And that's the thing. Muay Thai takes a little bit longer because you have more elements to it, right? But and boxing faster, and that's just it, man. So in an ideal world, you would do boxing and then you would jump over to Muay Thai, and then you could alternate, or you could just, if there's one in particular that you prefer. But I think Muay Thai more complete, in my opinion, right? For fighting in general. All right, so that's it for this video, guys. So if you guys like the video, share it so it helps me grow the channel. And if you guys, for those of you guys who are new to the channel, my name is Hong, and I'm a Judo Black Belt, Bjj Blue Belt. I'm 44 years old. This channel is all about fitness for martial arts for older guys. And yeah, and if you're younger, I think that you should still consume this content and use it to your advantage, because I think that there's a lot of things here that we talk about in this community and what I talk about in these videos that are going to benefit you in making the right decisions and also training the right way and avoiding the crazy stuff that's going to get you busted up. So you actually get better faster. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree or disagree with me? And what has been your experience in terms of for those of you guys who train Muay Thai and boxing? Like, what do you think? What do you think makes more sense? Anyways, that's it for this one, guys. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.